Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and I'm just going to take you on a quick tour today of hostas that I have added to my gardens, new ones this year, to my collection. So, you know I love hostas. That being said, I had these all ordered and decided upon before I have decided to take that tree down. But normally we are very wet here in Minnesota, so maybe next year it'll be a little bit, as long as they have enough moisture, they tend to do okay, and we'll see. I do not recommend planting hostas in a full sun location ever. I know what my hostas have looked like this year in a part shade. So this one, I don't know the name of this. I got this at my garden center, but it was absolutely gorgeous. So if you know the name, please let me know. But I loved the leaves on that, the foliage. It was huge. So that for a buy is really good, because this is normally what you get. So the rest of my hostas here I got from New Hampshire Hostas online. I'm not sponsored by them. They have a great selection and pretty good quality too. The rabbits have been munching back here, but it's late in the season. I will take my chances. This one is called Maya Infatuation. And a lot of times I pick hostas based off of their names, but also about how wide they get. I like the giant ones, but I also like ones that get really wide because it helps fill in an area a little bit quicker. And I have a niece named Maya. This one is Jurassic Park, and it looks amazing. I had potted this up earlier in the season because I had a giant fleece flower back here that was shading it, but since I did that, it had put on lots of new growth. I think that's a really good size right there, and Jurassic Park gets huge. And I also think there's a lot of variegation. The gold and then the purple will be a nice contrast here. And this one here, I've noticed that there's been munching on this one. This one is called Gentle Giant. It says it's a pretty vigorous grower, but if you can see how tall and wide that gets, yeah. So I like big hostas. I'm supposed to have blue-green foliage. I think that'll also look good. I've got a lot of variegation going on back here with these hostas along with the pagoda dogwood. And that's where I may have to expand once again just to accommodate for the size of these hostas. It'll take them probably about 4 or 5 years to look amazing, but it's kind of the fun part of gardening too. Just that wait is kind of like Christmas. This one is beautiful. I wish they all had pictures, but that's okay. I can wait till next year to see what they kind of look like. 86 inches for the width for space. Look at that. So this might be a little close here, but I do like my hostas and everything kind of touching that really lush look. And I don't know if I'm going to keep this grass here. I will this year just to enjoy its beauty. It might get moved over here with the other ones. This one, goodness gracious, not very wide or tall, but the picture was absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, yeah, I like that. Oh, those little buggers. They totally took this one down. I was super excited about this one. Oh, well, maybe next year. Was Frisian Pride. Dang it. Here, just cover that. It's late in the season. Maybe now it can focus its energy on creating roots, right? All those rabbits. And this is called Wee Hosta. I planted this last year, but I had it in here and it was doing okay, but I really couldn't see it. It wasn't a really good spot for it. It's kind of where I bought them without knowing where I'm going to put it. So I think it'll look really great right here. And it looks really good. I just had to shake off all the soil and get back to bare roots because it was with creeping bellflower, which I still have. I just pull it when I can and hopefully weaken the plant. Yeah, and you can tell they were in here because this tag is all the way over here. but no damage yet. Really excited about this one. This is an upright. Look at that. Oh, really bummed about that hosta. 48 inches for a space. So it's still a good width. But again, variegation there with the green back here, I think will look really great. Oh, hope you pull through, little dude. I don't do a whole lot to protect my hostas, unfortunately. I know there is a powder, like a granule kind of shake thing, repel all, or I might have to think about that. I was also thinking about when I brush my doodle to put her hair back there, or even my own hair from the brush, just as a repellent. This late in the season, I think it'll be okay, because it should just hopefully focus on roots. I say that, but that one, when I looked at the picture, that looked really unique. I just planted this one up. I'm not going to go into detail about that one because that will not be staying there. I just needed a spot for the time being, and that was a tiny little plug and not growing all that quickly, so it may or may not make it, but I have another one in another spot because it's absolutely gorgeous. So then down here is orange marmalade. Look at that. This is a really good grower. And I will say that that's a really good clump. Just can't wait to see that one. Let's see. Ooh, it's looking tough too. They tend to like the smaller leaved hostas. So we'll see. I have curly fries. Absolutely love it. So then this is called Party Streamers. Again, a gold foliage, and it's really dirty here. So I think the spread is about 31 inches. So it should fill in pretty good. So if one doesn't make it, these two could probably be just moved a little closer. But we'll see. Those, I'm gonna blame the rabbits. I don't think the squirrels do that. They just dig. Like I said, I've seen, and I think that rabbit has been making a home in the Sabaria sorbifolia stem. So that offers a lot of cover. I love that, but I've been seeing it shooting in and out of there. So not new additions as far as new buys for the year, but this is where I put one of my Bridal Falls Hosta. We'll see how it works back here. I mean, this pine tree sucks up a lot of moisture. I think removing this big tree here though, I think a lot of these are gonna grow a bit better. I mean, they're growing good anyway, but we'll see which ones make it. And oh, look, this is the one that I was super excited about. So I have two of these, and oh, this is called Wind Beneath My Wings. I mean, look at that. That rippled foliage, blue, gorgeous. It gets pretty wide, 79 inches wide, 30 inches tall. If only the rabbits can leave it alone. And this one was growing a bit better. That leaf right there was new. So you can see even with the new one how much bigger it is compared to, so I have to think on what I want to do. Look at this twig straight through the leaf. This is T-Rex. I have grown T-Rex in the past. It gets massive. It tends to be a quicker grower. So it looks like tiny little leaves right now. I'm hoping next year it does a bit better. I did move my swing forward a little bit to accommodate its size. Rabbits don't seem to mind that one. This one over here I think is going to be really cool looking. Again, with some of the bigger leaves I went with tinier ones, but this is Lakeside Dragonfly. It gets about 40 inches wide. And then I like that variegation here. And that's fine because it can cover up the pot in there. That's That's where the tag is. Like I said, those squirrels tend to do that. But I can just fill in this spot. At some point, I'm not going to have this container here. It's wood. It's rotting. So at some point, I probably will plant something else back there. But I think it's in a pretty good spot. At some point, I'm hoping all of the foliage of these plants cover up the rim of that. I only did that because it's a sumac and it tends to colonize. And I'm hoping I can prevent it. We'll see. It may or may not work. Okay, I'm glad to see they left this alone. This one in the picture looked amazing. It's called White Elephant. And it does get 55 inches wide. And that's, like I said, this isn't much, but it was more white in the picture. You can kind of see it coming through with here. I think it'll look good in here. You can tell we're dry when this looks like this. Oh, okay. I was happy because they've been leaving, the rabbits haven't eaten that one, but not here. It's where I had it, but must not have found it yet. This one is called Kinky Boots. It's kind of cool name. 34 inches wide. Let's see. Like I said, immature hostas, a lot of times their leaves are nothing compared to what the mature one looks like. So I just have to have patience. This is City Dog, nothing too amazing, but I love dogs. So I thought, sure, why not? And then this, I just have a ground cover, so this can just take over and then the ground cover can fill in underneath. Broadway, 36 inches wide. Took me a long time to pick these hostas out. I think it was on for a few hours just due to the variegation. They look a little bit different from what I've had. The width, the height, everything, a lot to take into consideration. This is fern line. And like I said, the picture was amazing. I'm hoping those margins, the white ones, are a little bit more once it matures, if I can get that tag in. I know I have this in the wrong spot when I looked, but for the time being, I just needed a spot for it. And this is called Twin Cities Hosta. Of course, I had two. 64 inches for spacing. And then these three, I'm super excited about. Glad the rabbits haven't found it. It's probably because they're staying to the back and not the front, so maybe that's why. But this one is going to be blue and called Silly String. Look at that. And 28 inches wide. So I'm hoping it just kind of fills in this area, just kind of make a nice little, if you want to say, hedge or border here. So I have 3 of them. So that is new hostas for me. I've never grown any of, except for T-Rex. I have grown that one in the past. I just had a really bad season with 2 blizzards back to back. And it just, I'm like, normally you can't kill a hosta with too much water, but I think it was those freezing temps that just kind of made it mush out. I probably should have just dug it up and babied it, and it would have been fine, because Empress Wu was affected that year also. Otherwise, up until then, she looked magnificent. So yeah, so one thing is like I said, I bought these hostas when I thought I was going to be trimming my trees. I'm like, I think they'll still do good. But now with that changing, we'll see how they are affected next year. I will be adding something to create more shade coverage. Not any huge trees. I'm kind of over really huge trees. But yeah, so I did not plant anything here because I figure if they have to, they're going to need a crane. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm kind of cringing when they decide to do this and how they do it. And my sister's like, "You gonna watch?" I'm like, no, I can't, because I know that the destruction is gonna be a lot in here. But when one door closes, another one opens, right? All right, so hopefully you enjoyed my new hosta collection for this added to it. And maybe next year I will do kind of a total hosta collection in my gardens, the ones that I do know. And if you want to just leave it in the comments down below what your favorite hostas are, that would be great to know. And hopefully you enjoyed, and bye for now.